Hi, everyone, and welcome to my weekly live. I'm Christine Justy of Mail Something Pretty, and just noticed the lighting's kind of funny, but it's all right. Um, Today is August 19th. It's crazy, towards the end of August already. But here we are. And so we're going to make Halloween because we're so close to doing fall. I've actually seen Halloween candy in multiple stores. We may have bought one bag so far. We actually don't have any trick-or-treaters, so, we don't really buy much Halloween candy, but we saw the kind that my kids like, and it was on sale, take fives, so we bought them. So we have those to kinda snack on. I just wanna make sure that everything's working. So if you are watching live, you know that it's working. I know I was a few minutes late. I left my phone downstairs, so it doesn't work without my phone to show you my desktop. All right, Jenny's there. Awesome. All right, excellent. All right, so we're good to go. So let me think. I'll announce this hopefully again at the end, but next week I will not be live. My daughter has an appointment at 3, and so we have to travel there. So, oh, Mary Lou, I was late. I'm sorry. I left my phone downstairs, so I had to go get it. Um, yeah, so next Tuesday, no live. I just want to say that, and I'll say it again at the end. But it's the last week of August, so you guys are going to be busy doing all the August summer stuff. So it should be okay. All right, so I was saying, I've seen Halloween in the stores. I have Halloween products. I talked about Halloween in my email today. So let's do Halloween because it's so cute. I think you really like it. So I'll show you a couple versions. I showed on the email photographs, but I'll show you in person. And then we're going to make a brand new card. And so let me actually just switch to my table here. There we go. So I made these actually, I made at least one of them. I maybe two of them on a live not that long ago, I forget when it was. And so I was just looking through because I like to recycle ideas and I wanted to do the Halloween. And to be honest, I didn't have a whole lot of time to create something new. So I thought that we could make this is so you hold it at the top and you lift it up. So it's a pop-up matchbook card. Kind of like the top has like that matchbook look to it. And so we did that with the dinosaurs. This one might be dinosaurs too. Yep, dinosaurs. And this one I think is a birthday cake. So I had done them not too long ago, but I thought we could just make them Halloween versions. So I'm going to rely on my notes because I didn't make another one up. And I even lost my notes. That's going to be a problem. They should be up here. All the measurements. Well, hopefully I discover them. Otherwise, we're going to be measuring that card. Oh, that sorry, I'll find them. Let me show you other Halloween stuff while I'm looking for. We actually made these at Club last month. Hi, Debbie. And I think they're super cute. So you can kind of see it's a box, and then when you open it up, so I actually just shared this video. I just uploaded it and shared it in my email this morning, but it is located on my YouTube channel. So if you don't get my emails, you can still find the video for this cute little box. And you can see how you can turn it into any, I say season or reason, depending on what paper you use. And then this was another fun card. I forget now what we called this one, but this lifts up. So it's a little bit interactive. And I actually really like how I use the cat, just black and white. I think it's kind of fun. And then the colors in the paper. And then this one I had done, I'll show you the products too. Hi Nancy, sneaking on there. Um, this is a smaller card. This actually is the two-tone paper. So it's one piece of paper, but you can see the gray and the black. And then I only used half of the die. Actually, let me show you the stuff and then maybe I'll find my directions at that point. So this is the, try to do it without the glare. The stamp set, it's really cute. I know it's called spooky, but it's really cute. And then I'll actually leave these out because we're going to use the dies. But I just wanted to show you. So this die makes like like a topper for a bag. So you can kind of see that there's a score line there to fold it in half. But if you folded it in half, like you would actually fold it that way so that that would be upside down, because that's how they kind of sleep that way. But I had turned it that way, so I just used half. I just want to show you how I did that. I just used half of it and just cut the other piece off and cut an extra back. So those are other samples so far using this suite because it's really cute. And then we're gonna make a new sample today. All right, I'm gonna unpack my basket. Hope I find those directions. I'm gonna show you the paper. That's just white paper. And I like the color scheme of the paper as well. Just looking on the floor. I'd be mad if I left it downstairs because I just came in from a walk and I thought I had everything up here. So we're actually going to use this paper. Isn't that super cute? I mean, look at those flamingos all dressed up like a ballerina with this cute bat dressed up as a ghost, a little bear as Frankenstein, Dracula, excuse me, a little pig, I don't know, running around with a cape. Maybe it's supposed to be Batman or Robin. I don't know. So it's really cute. And then the back just have like the graphics. So we're going to use these two for that one. Well, we're gonna make two, so I'll use this piece also. I just think this is kind of funny of the cats in the windows, little eyes. Um, we'll use that backside. Oh, there are the directions. Phew. Those are important. Use black for that one, but I'll just show you the rest of the paper. Actually, I'll take this whole thing out. I've used some of it. You can see some of it's been cut. Let's see, I'll show you this whole piece. You can turn this into a nice little, either like a scrapbook page by making a little scene. You can also cut these individually as fronts for cards. Same with these ones. Back is that, I love that petunia pop. The candy. And this one I just showed you. That one I showed you. You get little tags. The back is gray. And then this is what's kind of fun. So in each of these packs, you get 2 sheets of these die cuts. Obviously, we've used those ones. That was a cute little princess bear. We're actually going to use, I'm just going to pop it out now because we're going to use this cute little hippo that's dressed as a mummy. So we'll use that in one of our cards. So there's kind of fun little pieces, especially if you have kids and they want to make little treats. It's easy just to kind of put them on top. All right, now I'm happy. I have the directions. We can start. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do? Let's just cut. We're going to kind of cut the 2 cards at once. I think it might be easier to do it that way. So our base is 3 3/4 by 9 3/4. So let's cut. I'm going to do the black at 3 3/4. Save that. By 9 3/4. And actually, I'll show you on the other piece. We actually kind of have to cut it that way because otherwise it will be too short. Score at 5 1/4. All right, so that's one. And I'm going to do the petunia pop too. So I need to cut it at the 3 3/4 this way because that's 11 inches long versus this is 8.5 inches long. So you have to cut it that way. So 3 3/4. By 9 3/4. And we're going to score that at 5 1/4. All right. So then we need like the top flap. So like we just cut this piece for our base. So we need this top flap here. So that is 4 1/4 by 2.5. I think I had scrap. So I think that should be, yeah, that should be big enough. So I'm just going to use scrap. So 4 1/4 by 2.5. Oh, perfect. Score at 1 1/4. That lucked out. I could have cut my, and so that's actually scored in half. I could have cut my other this piece, but I'll save that for another card since it's big. All right, so those two pieces are done. And we'll do the black. I think, let's see, I have scrap. Is that big enough? It is, okay. We'll do the same thing. We're gonna do 2.5. We're gonna put pattern paper on top of this anyways. So I noticed I have like a little mark here, but that doesn't really matter because we're gonna cover it. And we're gonna score that at 1.25. All right, let's see. Debbie says, have to love today's technology. Driving down 194 on our way home and watching you. Oh, that's awesome. No worry, I'm a passenger. Thank you. That's awesome, Debbie. Karen says, hello. I was over on Facebook. Glad I remembered you. Yeah. Hi, Karen. I've been thinking about you. I haven't seen you in a while or heard from you in a while. Yeah. I had to switch to do lives on Facebook because I don't know why, but Facebook now deletes lives after 30 days. And so I find it's easier just to do it on YouTube. Then I can upload it to Facebook and then it will stay on Facebook. I don't understand. But yes, we are live on Facebook. I mean, streaming live on YouTube. And then you can find on both. All right. So pattern paper. So here we go. And actually, let me leave this up in case you want to take a screenshot of it as I'm reading it. I'll take a picture of it too when I show pictures of the cards. The front, so the big part is 3.5 by 4.25. So remember you have direction. So actually, also your card is not like, these are not going to meet up because we're going to have, show you again. This part is going to tuck under. So the front is shorter than the back. Okay, so just remember that the back is, the taller one is in the back. So when you're doing the front, oh, there we go. So 3.5. Let me make sure I'm telling you the right thing. It's been a while. Yeah, 3.5 wide by 4.25 tall. So just remember that for the direction of your paper. I'm going to show you that right now because both of these have a direction. So I want the 3.5 to go like in the portrait mode. And then we're going to cut 4.25. Now, I didn't really pay attention to where my windows are, but certainly if you say, you wanted like a middle section, you can cut it that way. But that actually kind of worked out. That I have a cat. So make sure, yeah, it just want to make sure you see the cat. So that's good. And then for actually we might, on this piece, let's see. Let's see. If I cut in this corner, I want to make sure we get that flamingo. And I want to make sure I get the whole feet. So I'm going to cut this at 3.5. I always double check. I don't want to cut it wrong. Hi, Cindy. So I could just cut this at 4.25 down, but if I do that, it's going to chop her feet off. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shimmy it up so you can see the feet. Although it's going to cut, you're going to cut something fun. I'm going to cut the pig's head. Sorry, pig. But I want you to be able to see the whole flamingo. And now then I'll turn this around to go at 4.25. And that luckily we have the whole ghost there. So depending on your paper, these are pretty big images. You may have to kind of figure out where they're going to go. All right, so that's for the front. And then the top. So like for the little topper here, that's a smaller piece. So it's just 4 by 1. So 4 wide, 1 deep. So I think this is a piece of scrap. That's 4 inches. We'll just trim that down to 1. Oops. I'm going to do it this way because it's a sticky piece on that side. All right, so these two are going to go together. My purple. And then I unfortunately have to cut a big piece for that tiny little piece. So I'm going to be strategic. I'm going to cut. You can actually even, I was going to use the gray But I was just thinking that actually probably would even work, but it might not match my pattern. That would. Let's see here. How wide is that? Oh, it is one. Let's do that just to show you. I was going to use this side, which we probably still can. I'm going to cut. Again, I'm being strategic. All right, so I have options because I know I don't need this many tags, but if I did, I could just cut a 1-inch strip down here. Now, my friend Ann would cut here and then cut over, which actually, that's not a bad idea. Normally I cut all the way down, or I could cut this way. But I think actually, since I only need 1 inch, let's try it this way. I'm just gonna cut down to that tag. And then I'm gonna just cut a little bit just until that opening, right? And then it needs to be 4 inches. Now, I still have this little white line from because part of it was chopped off. If you did one of these ones, it would work out. So even though my directions say 1 inches, we're just gonna make it a little bit skinnier just to get rid of that white line. There we go. So now it looks like that was a piece of pattern paper, and that will go really nicely with that. So trying to be strategic or conservative about all the papers or cutting the papers. Oh, no, I still have to cut more. All right, so here are that's the black piece. I have the purple piece right here. Now we need to cut the, yes, Mary Lou, you could totally use scissors. And you don't even you can use paper from another pack. I mean, it's just a tiny little strip. So now we need to cut the white. So I don't know what that is. We'll go back to that. So yeah. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. So the inside white is 3.5 by 9.25. Score at 5 inches. Folded edge at top, cut. Okay, we're not going to worry about that yet. So that's what we want. 3.5 by 9.25. I ran out of regular 8.5 by 11 paper. It's coming today, so don't worry. But I have 12 by 12, so that's why I'm using my 12 by 12. Yeah, I can't believe I ran out of white. So 3.5. I'm just going to cut 2 sections of 3.5, and then I'm going to trim it. And then we're going to open up our arm. Oh, Cindy says this is the first suite she's ever purchased. I loved it all. I'm so happy. It is. It's awesome. And I agree with you. Like I've used every component of the suite. Sometimes I break them up. If I don't like everything, then I'll piecemeal it together, but I ordered the whole suite too. Okay, 9.25. So this is just white. We'll use that certainly somewhere. Score at 5. All right, that aside, we'll do the same thing with this piece. Yeah, I thought it was easier just to cut both cards at once instead of going back and forth, and score at 5. So now I think, well, technically done with our cutting all the pieces, but we're actually going to use the cutter again. So you can see also, just like our card base doesn't match up, there's the shorter side and the longer side. So what we need to do now is, I'm trying to see, there we go. So you can see that I have a cut piece here, a slit, so that in this case, the dinosaurs are kind of, there we go, taped against it. So we need to make that cut. So you can do it with scissors or you can do it with a cutter. So let's see what my notes say. With folded edge at the top. Folded edge at the top. So we're gonna fold it, score it. I don't think it matters which is in front, but it will just sit better this way. Folded edge out the top, cut a 3/4 inch slit at both 1.5 and 2 inches. All right, let's do this so we don't have a glare on there. So here, I folded my white in half, folded edge at the top. So I'm gonna go over at 1.5. So here's 1.5. I'm gonna put my blade up at the top and I'm gonna come down to 3/4 inches. So let's see if I can do this so you can see it. So I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to go down to this 3/4 inch mark. I'm trying to do it so it doesn't move. All right. So here's my 3/4 inch mark. And there's that line. I don't know if you can see it on my cutting blade because that line indicates where the blade is. So if you go down to that mark, now you can see that that's how I cut. I'm going to do the same thing. And again, you could measure it with scissors, ruler, scissors, cut, but it's actually not that hard to do on your cutter. So 1.5 and 2. So now I'm going to go over here at 2 inches. I'll do the same and just make sure that the paper stays up. 3/4 inches. Here's my line. So now I have 2 slits. So when we open it up, we can see that the slit one's a little higher than the other. You just kind of even it out with your finger. There we go. And then you squeeze. Now you have that pop art. So that's what we're going to attach our hippo to. All right, so let's do this again. So I'm going to fold it. We're going to put it at 1.5. I'm going to cut down the 3/4. I'll move it over to 2. Now, if you had you can certainly vary it. The width, this width here is a 1/2 inch wide. If you were like this guy's kind of big, but actually his feet aren't as wide. You could vary that, but a 1/2 inch seems to work. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so now let's put this stuff together. I'm gonna do them at the same time. Okay, put those there. So remember, the big part, the base goes in the back. I'm turning it over to the back side. I'm scoring with my fingernail. I know I've said this before, and I do that in the back because there's a little mark left. So now you don't have the mark on the front. So this we're easily just going to glue right on the front. I like this card because it's an easier pop up. You know, it's kind of quick. You know, you just do those 2 little slits, and you can use up some paper, but you could stamp. But it's kind of a fun one that you can do for any season or for anything. All right, so now we're actually going to glue the back. So the back of the base is going to get glued to the back of the topper. So I'm just going to put some glue just like that. And then I'm going to make sure. Actually, I might put it just a hair below. Hopefully you can see. So I definitely want to make sure it folds, but I actually just did it just a hair below because we're going to put some of the white in there too. All right, so there we go. We're going to do that on the same on this part. Fold that, score it on the back. Put our cute little flamingo dancer. Reading like that. And then the same thing, we're just gonna glue that on here. So a little string of glue on the back, and then I'm gonna just put it a hair below that score line. It just makes it, it gives it a little room to fold. So, okay. So now we have to put our white in. So remember, you can even see it, it's not gonna line up, so it has to go this way, the taller part in the back. Before we glue it in, you have to think, do you want to do any stamping first? And yes, I do. Because it would be hard to stamp when this is kind of attached. So let's go back, let's get our stamp set here. Oh, I have to put the top on, but so any of those would work. Happy Halloween, spooky, don't worry, eat sweets, all tricks. No, not all tricks, no tricks, all treats. I think I'm just going to do Happy Halloween because I don't know who I'm sending this to yet. So this way it covers kind of anybody, if it's kids or adults. Oh, we need the white. The other thing is, so we're going to use on the black one, I'm actually going to die cut. Oh, I always want to call it a castle. It's not a castle, it's a haunted house. We're going to put that there. So you just have to kind of want to know where you're going to put the Happy Halloween. Will go there. Just looking to see. I'm going to use my stamp pad because it's a polymer stamp. That didn't work. It's okay. I don't have my black pen up here either. I'm actually going to leave it, and I'm going to use my black pen, which is downstairs, to fix it later. We're just going to go with it. And then we're going to do this one. So depending on, don't forget you have to poke out. So you want these in opposite. I want to close it. Make sure it closes flat. So then you have that little right angle. Let's try to see if I do a better job. Same thing. It's okay. I'll fix it. When I take a picture of it, you'll see that I fixed it. I think I had too much cushion because I have a notepad, and I think I had too much cushion here. I would have been better actually without the pad. That's all right. So now we're going to put this in here. So what I'm going to do is put the bottom in first. So I'm going to put glue. Let's see. Karen says, oh, you said it's a couple things. Let's see. I have 8 great nephews and nieces, and this would be perfect for Halloween catch. Yeah, I agree. All the different animals make each one unique. Yes. The haunted house would be cute with yellow paper behind it. Oh, it would. You'd make a nice little moon. All right, so I have glue on that bottom part. I'm actually going to close it flat. And I know it looks funny, but remember this is shorter. I'm going to put it on near the, just, well, kind of abutting that fold. Lifting up to make sure it fits in there. Not rubbing on the Happy Halloween because I don't want any more damage. I don't want to smudge it. So now when we put that on there, we can even glue it and shut. So now what I'll do is I'll put glue on the white. I'll do it again on the next one. And now you can even just shut this or close it. I always say like shut like a book, close like a book, shut the door. I don't know. Close it flat. You want it to fit in an envelope. And then there you go. So now you have that nice right angle. Okay. If you were going to stamp on the back side too, I would have stamped before I glued it in there. So I'm going to, again, put glue on the bottom part, which is smaller, right? Smaller. Turn it over. I like to do it with this up so I can kind of see where that score line is, that fold. And then also if you um put the fold against this part, it's gonna fit in there, it's gonna open. And now I'll put glue on this part and close it. There we go. So now, close my glue so I don't dry it out. So now, oh, we need to just put our, you don't have to, but I like to put our little toppers we're gonna go this way and this way. So I'm just gonna glue that. So I could have actually done this is originally I was gonna do that backside, but I kind of like it has a little bit more interest, a little bit more design in there. Yeah. And I'll put the candy topper on. All right, and before the ribbon's going to be the last part, and actually the ribbon is kind of integral because it keeps this closed, so it keeps it shut. Otherwise, it's you're not going to close it. So do that part last. I'm going to cut our haunted house. Don't let me forget, I have these fun stars too that comes with the sweet. And actually, I brought the treat bags. I think I showed these before, but you kind of see they're pinky iridescent to go with the whole kind of color scheme, which is kind of fun. All right, so we're going to cut this. I'm actually going to cut a couple other things too. And then let's see what we'll use. I'm going to cut a fence. I'm going to do it all in black and bats. I don't think I need anything else from the dies. Shoot in here. I have scrap black. Oops. We're going to use and my base. All right, see, I've already used bats out of this fence. Okay, I almost called it a castle again. My haunted house won't fit on that one. And then we need this. You could totally make a nice scene. We're just gonna do a basic scene on ours. All right. I need poker. Here we go. Actually, this is the first time I've even used this die. I'm just looking at that circle. That may be interesting. We'll see how that works out with how it's going to work. Our fence or our gate. We may or may not use that in our bets. So let's see. Like I said in my email, I did not prep this. So let's see how this comes together. The reason why I hesitated was, that's okay. We're going to see, oh, you know what we can do? I have an idea. Well, it's kind of nice how you can see through it. I could also trace the die to make it solid. Let's see. Do I have any scrap paper? I do actually, Karen. Look at that. I happen to have yellow. Let's see what happens. Oh, let's see. What did Jenny say? Oh, the vellum. Let's see. She used the retired vellum and some Definite Delight ink and brushed for the windows. Oh, that's a fabulous idea. I'm just seeing I do have some retired vellum. It's a little not so good. I don't have any daubers. Oh, Jenny, I like that idea a lot. Now they don't sell the vellum anymore, unfortunately. And I don't have any sponging. So let's see what this yellow looks like. So what I'm doing is the bad pencil. I'm tracing my die because if I cut another yellow out, it's the same thing's gonna happen. That's a bad pencil. The same thing's gonna happen. Can't believe I had yellow sitting right here. All right. I'm just gonna cut it with scissors. Actually gonna cut on the inside of my pencil line because I don't want it to be bigger than my castle. Bigger than my house. I want it to be smaller. I called it a castle last year too, so I'm very sorry to all of you if you call your haunted houses castles. Uh, let's see. Yeah, this is what happens on live when it's not planned. Kind of go rogue. Now this little um edge, this is kind of a funny edge. I don't have to cut it so perfect because I'm just going to cut straight down because that part's not even going to be seen. We just want to be able to see yellow through those holes. So let's see. All right, so I didn't do such a good job cutting, but I'm just going to cut this whole part off because we don't even need to see it. Again, we just want to see the same thing with this piece. I'm just going to cut that off. Just being careful of that part. Actually, I'm just going to cut this. I'm just going to cut straight this way on the yellow. And then I'm just going to cut straight down. Because we only want, there we go. So that's what it looks like on the back. I probably even, oh no, we need to keep that there. I was going to say I was going to trim that off like that. Perfect. Good idea, everybody. So now I'm just going to put some little bits of glue. I really like that vellum idea. This is going to just go on top. Oops, it's going to go over. There you go. All right, and now it actually gives us something to really stick that on. Perfect. You guys are awesome. Yeah, you could cut two strips. That would have been smarter. Cindy, I didn't see that till it was too late. That would have been smarter. And Mary Lou's complimenting everybody. This is what works out well. That's what makes the live so good because we just have people who help. So let's see. So this is going to go here. We're definitely going to put bats in the background. I don't know about the fence. Oh, you know what we could do? We could cut this part off and this part off because this could go here and this could go here and then you'll see it. Ha, I like that. All right. I'm just going to do tiny bits of glue because it will get sticky. that. This is the first time I actually used the it's a fence, it's not a fence. A rail, a gate, maybe it's a fence. All right, so that's gonna go like that. So now we're just going to put glue right on this tab and we're just gonna glue that right on there. Like that. And I'm going to pinch it. So I have my finger in there just to pinch it, just to make sure that it sticks. I'm gonna find these bats. They're flying away. There's one. There's two. All right. That looks good. Do you see what I mean about if I didn't stamp before, it would be really hard to kind of manipulate and stamp it. Now, when you're placing something up here, remember that that part gets closed, so you don't want to put it way up here because it'll get lost. Isn't that fun? So that's the inside of that one. I will fix that. And then we'll take our ribbon. So this is old ribbon, probably from Halloween a couple years ago. And I'm gonna take that and I'm just going to, you could tie a bow, but a bow actually I think would be a little bit too bulky. Because this is gonna go in an envelope. I'm gonna mail it to somebody. So I'm just gonna tie a double knot. You want it somewhat tight, not like super, super tight, but somewhere tight to keep that closed, but you want someone else to be able to open it. So just like Goldilocks, you want it just right. I like how this has sparkle. This I loved this ribbon, so I'm gonna be sad. I just have a little bit left. All right, so there, and you could add something here if you wanted to. Don't really know if we need to, because the fun's on the inside, and you pop it up like that. And then this just gets tucked under. That's why it's called the matchbook. All right, let's finish this one. No, oh, here we go. Like I know I took her out. So we have our cute little hippo. Let me see if there's any other cutouts we want to use for the bag. I actually didn't plan that or think about that. Let's see. We could put, let's see if this would fit. We'll see it all. Pumpkins. Oh. We could also put something down here. That might be a little big for the, oh, you know what? This one is cute. That one here. Sorry, guys. But wait, I think, yeah, I think we just need a little something else. I'm actually gonna use both of them. Just because it's wide. All right. Oh, thank you, Karen. Oh, I don't know if I can use two insides. Shoot. So what's hard about these banners is because these ones don't really connect. All right, I'm gonna glue this on first. All right, so actually, this is another good point. So see how there's space here between its legs? If I put it in the middle and I put glue, glue would ooze out. So just be careful. So I'm gonna put just a little glue on the inside of the leg and the other inside. So it's not very much glue. What you could do, and I'll show you, I could have put something underneath her. Um, Now it's too late, but I could have put something underneath there, like, I don't know, the broom may have fit. Is this gonna fit in the background? Because you have that thing there. I don't know if this bat is not really flying, but we have these bats. Just need something. I do like this. I could put this on the. Well, 1, 2. Oops. And we're gonna use 3. Oh, here it is. Just because you know how we like the odd numbers. There we go. Oh, how about we just do it this way? That works. I just felt like we need a little bit more color inside. That will go like that. There we go. So I know a girl who likes purple, so this will probably go to her. Okay, let's see. Yeah, glue dots would work too. Glue dots would definitely work. And so I think on one of mine, see how like I kind of masked the, I put some of the grass there and then stuck the dinosaurs, one on top and one on the back side, and then I put one back there. That's kind of how I handled that problem. That works. And now we just put a little ribbon on it. The black would actually look very sharp too, but I'm gonna use the, oh, can you see? It's like iridescent sparkly. And close that. I'm gonna go on this side though, because my fingers don't work that way. Same thing, I'm just gonna tie a knot, a double knot. There we go. Oh, I told you not to let me forget. Thank you. My scissors. Let's trim that. Trim that. And then where'd my other card go? These are like, they're foam. They're I thought they were gonna be like hard plastic, but they're foamy. They're more like stickers, I guess. And I might just use 2 there actually. And then, actually, I'm not gonna use a star on that one. I'm gonna leave that because it already has sparkle. Phew. All right. So here are the 2 fronts. And then when we open this one up, we got our fun little haunted dust. Thank you so much for that tip on the, yeah, that's perfect. It needed something, so that's perfect. And then our cute little, I just think this is so cute. Actually, you know what? I am gonna stick another star up here. Okay, so there we go. There's our odd. And then this one comes down for our hippo. Cute, cute, cute. And then you saw the dinosaur. So you can do these, however, and then the other birthday cake one was that way. And so I did do a bow on this one. It's just it just makes it a thick envelope. So depending on how you give it away. All right, let me see. Here we go. Karen says, I'm liking your two cards. So cute and festive. I'm glad. Thank you. It's a super cute suite. So if it's perfect for, I think, like preschoolers, early elementary when they don't want to be scared, so they need that kind of cute spooky. So I think it's a perfect for that. Um, Even all the way up to, I think even 11 and 12, I think would appreciate the cuteness of it. And then and then if you like, I lost it, the cats and dogs. Um, I made a mess of the stamp set, which here it goes. The if you're into cats and dogs, which many are, then these are really cute. The suite is called Spooky Halloween. I think the whole collection might be called Spooky Halloween. The paper has a slightly different name. And I'm just trying to see if I can find it. The paper is called Spooky Sweet. So there you go. I actually think that's a good name for it, Spooky Sweet. But it's cute. If you just go on the online store and you type in Halloween, it will come up. As well as there are other Halloween stuff too that they're offering. I just got this bundle, but there are more. So and actually that's a good point. The holiday catalog will be starting in September. And for those who've ordered with me in the past, I will send you a catalog. Those are arriving today too. To me, and then I'll mail them out. But if you go into the search bar online store and just type in Halloween or any other description, all of what Stampin' Up sells that fit that genre will pop up. So I know there's online exclusives versus catalog stuff, but that's how I use the store. I just use the search bar. I think it's happy. You're welcome. All right, so reminder, no live next week. My daughter has an appointment, so I'm going to take her to that. And so no live. It's the last week of August, so enjoy yourselves. Um, and then for those who I know who live near me, and I know a lot of you don't, or some of you I know have plans, but I do have an event, in-person event coming up in Norwell, Massachusetts. It's on the South Shore or the East Coast of Massachusetts. That is on September 27th. It's a Saturday. It's 4 hours for stamping. And so that registration is live, and I don't think it's on my blog yet, so I need to put that up on my blog so you have access to that, but that's happening. I think the deadline is September 5th. I think that's all I have. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you for commenting. It makes it helpful, and you guys gave great comments and helpful hints today, so that was good. I'm glad you like the projects. I will fix my little happy and then I will post pictures online so you guys can see them. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you not next week, but I'll certainly see you the week after. And actually the week after I think is my monthly live with Ann too, but all of that will be my emails to come. All right, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like them. Have fun, Cindy, with your whole collection. Enjoy it, and let me see what you make. All right, have a great day, everyone.